Coming up on 5 Minute News. US death toll hits 800,000 a year into COVID vaccine drive. New Pfizer pill shows almost 90% efficacy in preventing hospitalization. And Africa might miss 70% vaccination goal until late 2024. It's Wednesday, December 15. I'm Anthony Davis. The US death toll from COVID-19 topped 800,000 on Tuesday, a once unimaginable figure seen as doubly tragic given that more than 200,000 of those lives were lost after the vaccine became available last spring. The number of deaths, as compiled by Johns Hopkins University, is about equal to the population of Atlanta and St. Louis combined. It is roughly equivalent to how many Americans die each year from heart disease or stroke. The United States has the highest reported toll of any country. The US accounts for approximately 4% of the world's population, but about 15% of the 5.3 million known deaths from the coronavirus since the outbreak began in China 2 years ago. The true death toll in the US and around the world is believed to be significantly higher because of cases that were overlooked or concealed. Health experts lament that many of the deaths in the United States were especially heartbreaking because they were preventable by way of the vaccine, which became available in mid-December a year ago and was thrown open to all adults by mid-April of this year. About 200 million Americans are fully vaccinated, or just over 60% of the population. That is well short of what scientists say is needed to keep the virus in check. Meanwhile, the Omicron variant is offering more hints about what it may have in store as it spreads around the globe. A highly transmissible virus that may cause less severe disease, and one that can be slowed but not stopped by today's vaccines. An analysis on Tuesday of data from South Africa, where the new variant is driving a surge in infections, suggests the Pfizer vaccine offers less defense against infection from Omicron and reduced but still good protection from hospitalization. The findings are preliminary, but they line up with other early data about Omicron's behavior, including that it seems to be more easily spread from person to person. The spread can be seen in Britain, the United States and Denmark, where confirmed Omicron cases are increasing at a worrisome pace. A pill manufactured by the prominent COVID-19 vaccine provider Pfizer is highly effective in protecting against severe disease from coronavirus, the company said yesterday. The experimental antiviral pill Paxlovid is also effective against the Omicron variant that is spreading rapidly across the world, the company announced, citing laboratory testing. In clinical trials, Paxlovid showed almost 90% efficacy in preventing hospitalization and death in high-risk patients, Pfizer said, replicating the results of a smaller-scale trial announced last month. Those results prompted the company to seek authorization from the US Food and Drug Administration for the pill to become the first widely available oral medicine to combat coronavirus. Regulators in the UK last month approved the twice-daily pill Molnupiravir, manufactured by Merck and Ridgeback, for use in elderly and at-risk patients, but its approval has stalled in the US amid safety concerns. Pfizer hopes that Tuesday's announcement will bolster its case with the FDA, allowing for an early US approval and infected Americans having access to the pill by early next year. Joe Biden said he is encouraged by the company's data, and his administration has ordered enough of the pills to treat 10 million Americans. Pfizer's latest study was an analysis of 2,246 unvaccinated, high-risk test subjects. The Pfizer pills are taken every 12 hours. They reduced the risk of hospitalization or death by 89% within 3 days of symptom onset and 88% within 5 days. Mikael Dolsten, Pfizer's chief scientific officer, said that it was a stunning outcome. The African continent might not reach the target of vaccinating 70% of its 1.3 billion population against COVID-19 until the second half of 2024, a target many of the world's richer countries have already met, the World Health Organization said on Tuesday. The warning comes as the world faces a new surge in cases, driven by the highly infectious Omicron variant. Health officials in South Africa, which first announced the variant, say early data indicate it causes less severe illness and shorter, less intensive hospital stays. But some richer countries have rushed to allow booster vaccine doses in response, even as less than 8% of Africa's population has received 2 doses. Just 20 of Africa's 54 countries have fully vaccinated at least 10% of their populations against COVID-19, and 10 countries have fully vaccinated less than 2% of their populations. The WHO Africa Director, Mashudiso Moeti, pushed back against any suggestion that African nations are allowing large numbers of vaccine doses to go to waste amid poor infrastructure and vaccine hesitancy. The African continent has received about 434 million vaccine doses, and some 910,000 of them have expired in 20 countries, representing less than a quarter of 1%, Moeti said. The main challenge in Africa remains access to vaccine supplies. You can subscribe to 5-Minute News on YouTube with your preferred podcast app. Ask your smart speaker or enable 5-Minute News as your Amazon Alexa flash briefing skill. Subscribe, rate and review online at 5minute.news. 5-Minute News is an Evergreen podcast covering politics, inequality, health and climate, delivering independent, unbiased and essential world news daily.